Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mike Plays RP1. This is the series in which I am going through the programs and contracts of the RP1 contract pack and doing the absolute best that I can with my limited experience with this particular collection of mods. And if you are interested in playing this collection of mods yourself, the entire list of mods, including any relevant links, are all there down in the description. But let's talk about what we have coming up in this episode. And the most exciting thing coming right off the bat is right now the Redstone U2000B is just over 10 hours from being rolled out onto the launch pad. You might recall last episode I had launched this in an attempt to do this Downrange Milestone 7,500 kilometer contract. And yeah, it didn't do it. Part way through the ascent, I had loss of thrust on the A9 engine. That's the main engine on the Redstone booster, and I wasn't even going to get itself into space, so that was the end of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to try that again and hopefully have a little bit of better luck. This is all, these contracts here are all in the Satellites Light program, working myself towards the point of finally putting something into orbit, hopefully very soon. Now, what we also have happening is we have the Bell X3. It is being refurbished here a little bit. We finished off last episode with doing the inaugural flight of the Bell X3. It got to an altitude of 40 kilometers in order to perform its mission, and then came back down and finally sorted out all the parachute issues, and the parachute actually worked for the first time in a long time. The primary purpose of the Bell X3 this time in its next flight is going to be to collect this Mach 2 flight science. It collected a smidge of this science last time. In order to collect this science, you got to be flying low, so that means below 40 kilometers, but you have to be going between a speed of 620 meters per second and 820 meters per second. It did collect a smidge of that last time, but the primary objective of last time was to get over 40 kilometers, so it was only while it was in this speed range, while it was going up and while it was going down, that it collected the science. This time what we're going to do is just get ourselves up to an appropriate altitude and kind of cruise along and hopefully collect a good chunk of this science. It does take 24 minutes to collect all of it, so it'll take a few flights, but hopefully we'll polish that off pretty quick. Other than that, oh, I know what I've been neglecting. Let's get rid of the contracts window too. If I go into research and development, last episode, it's easy to miss this. Last episode, I upgraded my X1 cockpit to the X2 cockpit upgrade, but you have to do that upgrade in research and development, and it's really easy. I miss them all the time, and there have been people reminding me, you don't forget about your fairings, and I have been. Quite some time ago, I unlocked early material science, and there is a fairing upgrade to go to aluminum fairings and stringers to make your fairings lighter, but you have to do, again, that upgrade in the Research and Development Center. You can see it right here, 5,000. Now it's going to cost me nothing, you can see, after the credits are applied. So I should do that, and that makes my fairings lighter. Now that that's been done, I mean, there are some small fairings on the Redstone, but it's not worth, I think, rolling it back to fix that. But this Bell X3, which is being worked on right now, if I go into the integration part, let's see if we can add those fairings to the Bell X3. So we're just going to go edit and see what this is going to do for me. So this is my Bell X3 Rocketplane here. I noticed this while I was making the thumbnail. See how I have just a little aesthetic piece here on this wing that I must not have had two-way symmetry on because it's not on the other side. So I'm going to actually just fix that right now at the same time. So this is just going to get on here. We just got to go to two-way symmetry. There we go. And get on there. Boop. And now there's one on the other side. That was just kind of an oversight on my part. Tanks should be full. Yeah, tanks are full. That's cool. Okay, let's take a look at the fairings. So this should save us a little bit of weight. So if we take a look at this thing now, it is 5,782 kilograms. Okay, so let's take the fairings off. Oh, the fairings don't weigh too much anyway, do they? Okay. Those are the old fairings. I believe they would have been made out of steel. And now I got these new ones. And again, this is the upgrade has been applied. You can see it right here. So that they are now lighter. These are now made of aluminum. Let's see if we can spin these around. I got to go to 4-way symmetry. I think this was 82, so this saved me 3 kilograms. So, well, you know, I think every little bit helps, doesn't it? Now we got to, yeah, if we take a look here, it's saying it's going to take 180 days to perform this fix, this upgrade, but I'm pretty sure these need to be tooled, don't they? If I look at it, yeah, it says tool the fairings. So let's tool the fairings there. It shouldn't cost me anything. It should be, yeah, it was all covered by credits, so purchase toolings. Now it's going to take 15 hours to apply this upgrade. Okay, so let's do that. So first, I want to recolor them. So we'll open up the coloring GUI. I have been loading this yellow color. Is it still loaded there? If I just say load the color? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. And we'll change the color on the back here. I kind of want to keep this kind of black thing, but maybe not make them so black. Like a gray. That looks okay. I like it. Yep, I think that's good. Okay, so other than that... Oh, I should take the fairings out of the staging. Move them up here. Where is it? Oh, no. Fairing decoupler. Take that off. There we go. And does it lose any weight if I take off like these ejection power things? Like, does that lose weight in it? No, it doesn't. Weight's still the same. Okay. And parachute should be separated from the motor. There we go. Motor should still got some life in. Oh yeah, it's still got life in it. Yeah. Yep, should be good. Okay. I don't think I need to reset this parachute. Finally got it working last time. It's tucked in here under the fairings. I think just fixing the staging should do it. I did put spare chutes in there. So I'm thinking there should still be like spare chutes. If I show parachute info. Well, it still says spare chutes 5. I was wondering if that would go down by 1, but I'm going to just experiment with seeing if it'll just be okay just the way it is. So all of that's good. Let's save this as a new Bell X3, but also let's save the edits. Okay, and also go back into here. Open up that Bell X3 I just saved. There we go. And I want to add that to the plans. Always so easy to get everything kind of out of sync. You know what I mean? I notice I don't have the Bell X2 in the plans. You know, where what's being integrated, what's saved in the spaceplane hangar, and what's sitting in the plans can easily be all different. It's really easy to get those out of sync with each other. I know I've done it in the past. Okay, I think I'm good. Hide that. Close that. Get out of here. And, oh, I do want to check mission control if there are any more contracts that the X-plane can do. Now, I believe all of these ones require jets here. Yes, they do. So at some point, I am going to have to get into jets. There is this high altitude optional. This is a series of 3 contracts. The first of which is to get to 55 kilometers. I am not 100% convinced. It got to 40. The cockpit will be fine. The cockpit can go up to, I don't know. Might, you know what I'll do? I'll accept the contract. The next one here I can see is the Carmen line, so that's 100. I can't do that. That'll kill the pilot. If I go to hypersonic, that requires me to go to 2,000 meters per second in speed. I know the X3 can't do that. But it might be able to get to 55 kilometers. So what I'll do is I'll accept this one. I still need some engine upgrades to really push the other ones. Actually, I do have a version of that X1 engine that's a single ignition one. So, but you have to replace the engine every time. Might get to that. We'll see. That could be the one to really try and beat those records if the other engines are taking a while to get to. But I might as well accept that contract. I won't do it with this mission that's coming up, but maybe with the one after that. We'll give it a go. Or maybe I'll try it in simulation mode. That's what I'll do. Just going to do a little bit of contract organizing. This is part of the crewed missions. Okay, and now we can get rid of that. And basically now, yeah, let's get to the launch of the Redstone here. So we do have the X3 with the changes that I just made, and we can prep that for air launch. That's going to take 3 days. Oh, and that works really well because the mission training that George is undergoing right now is going to take a couple of days. So it's just after that. Excellent. Okay, let's finish off the rollout of the Redstone. And we will warp to sunrise because we never want to do these at night. And we'll launch. Okie dokie. So again, getting the contract out here. The contract, let's put this on the uncrewed ones. There it is. Get to 7,500 kilometers downrange. That is the main thing. There is 50 units of sounding payload you got to take, but other than that, that is what this thing is trying to accomplish. It will also be collecting some science. I got the mass spectrometer aboard. That will not start collecting science until we're over 40 kilometers, though. Might as well collect a little bit of science while we're doing it. Otherwise, I think we're ready to go. So I just want to make sure of my McJeb settings. Altitude 150 kilometers. Turn shape is 45%. Yep. And make sure all the auto staging nonsense is on. So let's move this out of the way. Auto stage on. Support hot staging on. Keep limited throttle over 100%. I'm going to also click this one. Limit throttle to 100%. We do not want the throttle to turn off when it gets to 150 because these engines at the top two stages do not reignite. They can be lit once, and that is it. Put that there. Other than that, oh, engage the autopilot. Let's go. So run our downrange program. And knock on wood and cross fingers and all of that kind of stuff. We're going to need it. All right. Well, it's ignited. We have nominal thrust. It's going up. So far, so good. What happened last time? Again, I don't want to jinx anything, but what happened last time? Partway through the ascent, all of a sudden, this thrust became subnominal and was actually losing speed, and I just aborted the rocket and blew it up, and that was that. Hopefully this time, everything will go much, much better. And as I've been doing all the way along with this, I am using KOS to handle like simple things. My KOS programs are really simple. KOS, again, for people that are just dropping into this series, KOS is not necessary for RP1. I could have, instead of using this KOS, simply hit the space bar and McJeb would be taking care of everything. Right now, McJeb is doing all the flying without any issues. All my KOS script is doing is it handled the countdown part and then just hitting the space bar, doing the staging to let the rocket go. And it's monitoring altitude. It'll let me know when I get to apogee and silly things like that. But otherwise, it's not doing anything that's really too big a deal. And if you're interested in KOS, this is a good, if you're interested in coding, KOS is a great kind of vehicle to get you going in the right direction. And I do have a link to my GitHub in the description. If you're interested in taking a look at the code, you can drop by my Discord if you want to ask questions. Right now, I'm just kind of excited that this thing seems to be behaving well so far. Knock on wood. That's me knocking on my desk. All right. So what's going to happen here when the fuel inside the booster here gets down to 2%, I think it is. We got little motors on here that are going to spin up the rocket to stabilize the next two stages, because the next two stages are unguided. That should happen any moment. There we go. And there goes our Veronique engine. The battery warning's on the V2 that we just lost. That doesn't matter. So now we have the Veronique doing its job. It seems like these colors, I'm pretty sure I colored that, but oh well, whatever. It's doing okay. Alright. And it's tempting to do some time warping here, but I do find, I think, when you time warp in this situation, when it's spinning, I think it gets the wobble. It induces the wobble to get worse, so I'm just going to resist the urge to time warp. But we're going to need the Veronique. It's now about 3/4 of the way through its fuel. And that will ignite our final engine, the U2000 engine. And hopefully all will go well. That should happen any moment now. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, as long as this guy burns its required amount, I'm not at all sure what could go wrong. Okay, we are collecting a little bit of science here in mass spectrometry in the upper part of the atmosphere. It takes 2 hours to collect all of it, so we're only going to be in the upper part of the atmosphere for a little while, so it's not going to get a lot, but every little bit helps, and it's transmitting that back down to the surface. There's nothing being collected because this thing is not going to be recovered. Boy, and then when this is done, if this contract gets completed, I don't want to get ahead of myself, then I got to start thinking about orbital rockets. I don't think this thing has quite the Delta V, but maybe we should give it a little bit of a test just to be sure. But I think it's just a little bit shy of what it needs to get into orbit. I think it's not too far off, though. But I think it is a little shy. Okay, we have now crossed into low space. Collecting more science here. And making our way downrange. Apogee is climbing. Just passing 500 kilometers. We are almost out of fuel, and then I can feel free to start time warping. There we go. All right. Okay, that's encouraging. That's encouraging, despite seeing I just noticed 666 on the downrange distance just a moment ago. Okay, so now it's we don't have to depend on engines anymore. We solely are dependent upon Sir Isaac Newton to take care of things for us. Oh, still getting those little funny black things. I think I even disabled the HDR. Let's check this out. That's what someone told me to do. Oh, it isn't disabled. Okay, let's disable that. Maybe that does... Oh, maybe I didn't save it last time. Save selected. Okay, close the window. Oh, I think the black dots are gone now. So that was a tough... Did you say Tufts? T-U-F-X? Alright, alright, alright. We're getting up to our apogee. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, let's keep going. Lots of science being transmitted back, hopefully. $792. Oh, we lost. Oh, we're losing signal, but I think that has to do with just being out of range. So we have no information now coming at us. But that just has to do with being out of range of any of our ground stations. We should be picking up probably this guy, Grand Canary. Should be picking that up pretty soon. You can see the coast of Africa coming now. Excellent. Where are we at? We are at 4,689 kilometers downrange, well over the halfway point, and we've yet to reach our apogee. We're still searching for a signal. The science is still being collected, by the way, while this is going on. It's just building up, and then it's going to need to be transmitted. So hopefully we'll be getting a signal soon. There we go. So there is a bunch of data now that needs to get transmitted away. But you can see it's doing that without a problem. Should still have plenty of electricity. 12 minutes of electricity still left. How much have we transmitted home so far? 0.9 science have been transmitted home. Not a huge amount, but everything helps. Okay. Still not at apogee. Still not halfway through this flight. But we are pretty darn close. Okay, we have just crossed apogee. Our KOS program has ended. To be honest, McJeb's not doing anything for us either. We can get rid of that. Alright, and Africa, we're coming for you. Coming for you. I'm going to watch the electricity, to be honest. I'm a little bit concerned about that. 15, oh, maybe not. 15 minutes of electricity left. Still have a signal. Oh, there it goes. There is our downrange milestone, 7,500 kilometers. That contract is complete. Whew. All right, and now it's time to start thinking about orbital rockets. If I'm not convinced I have the tech for it, but we can maybe start thinking those ways. So congratulations on a successful launch. 83 reputation, 360 confidence for me. We've transmitted now 1.6 science. We are still got a ways to go. Getting a nice view. Sub-Saharan Africa here. I think we're still going to land in the ocean, though. And once we hit the atmosphere, this will not be living for very long. Very weak signal strength. How are we doing with our... We got this station here. MSFN Cano. Oh, we might actually be making the coastline. So, sorry about that. Batteries are getting low. 5 minutes of batteries left. Oh, we just timed out of our... Yeah, we lost this station here. I'm not sure we'll be picking up the next one. Johannesburg is the next one. Not sure if that's in the card, so we may not be getting any more science out of this. That's okay. The primary mission is complete. Some point we'll put a mass spectrometer into orbit, and that will just collect the rest of it for us. Okay, we are now into the atmosphere. You always get these big pauses. So we render that. There we go. And people on shore don't have to worry. There's no way this thing's getting anywhere close. It's going to be blowing up any moment now. Give it a little more time warping, I think. Because the rest of this is inevitable. Yeah, we are getting over the coastline here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Boom on the engine. Boom on the tank. And boom on the avionics. Okay, that was a success. Back to the Space Center we go. All right, quite pleased with that. Let's recover this. All right, and then we got to start thinking about more rockets. Now, I do have satellite era material science. That is my next tech node. It's not coming though for another 77 days, and that one, ooh, no, orbital rocketry is coming after that. So I feel like I'm gotten ahead of myself when it comes to tech. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's take this redstone, let's simulate it, and we'll just put into McJeb, go for an orbit, and we'll see what happens. That's going to be it. And I have written here an orbital velocity of 7,818 meters per second for a 150 kilometer orbit is necessary. I am not convinced this has what it takes to get to that speed. So what we're just going to do is open up McJeb, go to the ascent guidance, go to the prime vector guidance, which is the orbital thing. We'll go for a 155 by 155 orbit, just a little over 150, because that's the requirement of the contract. The orbital inclination will just be our current latitude. If I go into options, auto staging is supporting. Yep, hot staging is supported. Again, we are limiting, keep throttle over 100%. We definitely want to do that. And I'm just going to engage this, hit the space bar, and hope for the best, really. That's that's going to happen, and we'll see just how short we come. So, there we go. And it should do everything now. Yep, all I did was hit the space bar. McJeb's doing everything else. So, same rocket as before. Failures have been disabled, so I can feel comfortable doing a little bit of time warping. Not that actually that has anything to do with failures, but I just want to kind of get this over with. I'm kind of curious how this is going to proceed with all of this. It's still going to do the same thing with spinning up the rocket and all that kind of stuff. It's not McJeb, by the way, that does the spinning up. There's smart parts in here that are dealing with that. I do love me my smart parts. Oh, there goes the hard pitch over. That's probably not the bestest thing in the world. And we're going to be spinning up and going. I don't see this being... I don't see how this is going to be in the cards because... No. Oh well. We'll see what it does. See what it does. What happened there? Insufficient avionics? That shouldn't matter, you dope. Oh, you dink. Oh, I thought you would just keep it going anyway. Okay, let's get into options here. Might need to do some... It gave me a message saying insufficient avionics to PVG after stage. I don't know what that means. I know there's a way to get McJeb. Didn't care about that before. Prevent every... No. Limit acceleration. I thought this keep throttle over 100% would get it not to do that. As soon as it lost avionics, it said, I can't do anything. You're on your own. Stage. Drop solids early. Auto deploy solo. Auto warp. Okay, that's not cool. Maybe I do need to... Because I know I've done it before with in my previous series with RP1. The top stages were unguided. McJeb didn't have, a little heart attack about that. So I'm not quite sure why it's suddenly going. And again, maybe I was fiddling with the throttle myself. Spamming Z or something. Drop solids early. Support auto deploy. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out. I thought there would be just a simple setting just to say, look, just keep going, McJeb. Don't worry about it. Doesn't seem to. Okay, what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to do a restart this simulation. And I'm going to try just spamming the Z button to keep the throttle at full. I don't know what else to do. Maybe I need to look back at my old series and see what I did before. I could try this whole thing with just running this downrange program. Let's see what that does. Running the downrange program. Whoa, where did that come from? I hit something. Real solar system parameters. Oh, for frick's sakes. Okay, just go away. Period. That's engaged. Go. So the one thing the KOS program does do is it sets the throttle to 1. Okay, what caused that to come up? Real solar system parameters. I don't know what button that is. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm tucking it here. There's probably some combination of keys that just woke that up. We're just gonna go. And this still has the option limit throttle to over 100%. Yes. Okay, there goes that hard pitch over again. And I think, well, to be honest, okay, my mouse is being weird now. Why is that? Okay, I don't know. Okay, that ignited. My mouse is being very strange when it's backwards for the scrolling. Life is so much fun. Alright, well, I'm not going to worry about it. We did get, if you see me scrolling the wrong way, you know why. Okay, that, we're good. I don't want to disengage the autopilot. I've done something with my mouse. It's being very... Okay, that feels better. And, okay, we're about to go on to the Veronique. I don't want to hit disengage the autopilot here because I'm worried that will turn off the engine. But we're going to get to a very high altitude here, too. So this is not right. I thought this would pitch down more. This just isn't working. I'm going to time warp because I don't care. But you can see how the wobble is getting worse with the time warping. Yeah, this is no good. Okay, I'm going to have to put this aside and... It's like, what are in the options here? I remember doing this before. It would actually pitch before it would actually pitch below the horizon. But I have no idea what I actually did to get it to do that. I don't know what PVG after stage means. Alright, I'm not going to worry about it because clearly... Well, you know, like I said, orbital velocity is 7,800. in 18, and it's at 7,000. It's over 7,000, and now it's completely... maybe if I... Feels like I'm just not that far off. I'm just not understanding how... Revert to the editor. Alright, so it turned out in that rocket that I did use a near-Earth core up here at the top. So, what I'm going to do... I'm going to just call this Redstone Orbital Prototype. I'm going to see if what we can do with this. So, I need to take... Is it this? Can I just... Oh, that took the fairing. Okay, don't do that. Let's open these fairings. Actually, hang on. I can replace these fairings now. So let's replace these fairings with the recolorable ones. Being weird. I did it. Okay. And let's open this up. Take this off. Go up to the top here. We'll take off the sounding payload because that isn't, well, it might be necessary. I didn't look that deep into the contract. But then I think what I need to do, now how much weight does this have? This is 2.8 tons. So I need to have a controllable mass. All right, so we're going to change this then to a near-Earth core. Switch to avionics prototype. Controllable mass of, let's go with 5 tons for now. Put in some electric charge, 50 kilojoules of electric charge for now. Apply and resize to fit. And that makes that like monstrous. It is though. So maybe I can get away with 3 tons here. Apply and resize to fit. A little smaller. But that did make this whole upper stage quite a bit heavier. But I think that's what it's going to need for this to work. Okay, so that looks wild up there. That crazy needle of doom. Okay, let's open up our DV stats. McJeb, DV stats. I really do think I need to get better tech though. I don't think I'm there. So right now this upper stage has 2,120 and then 1,000, so a total of 3,796. What I'm curious about is if I can increase these burn times. Well, then again, we're probably going to have trouble just lifting this, aren't we? Let's get real. The staging, of course, is completely discombobulated. That needs to go there. That needs to go in with these. That's good, that's good, that's good. These motors are on their own stage. Why do I have the contract window up? And then that and that. Okay. My launch TWR in the atmosphere is not terrible. It's not terrible. See, what I'm thinking about is making these upper stages bigger, but that would force me to make this stage here and take some of the fuel out, which I've already taken out a little bit of it. Just to handle the TWR, or just to not have too, a thrust of weight that it'll actually, lift off the pad. Let's give this a go and just see what happens. Now at least McJeb won't freak out on me. So close these. This has a total delta V of 7,521. That cannot be enough. It simply can't. But I'm just curious to see how close it can get. But what are my I'm just looking at my motors. If I go down to single ignition, ground lit engines. So right now what we have on here is the NAA75 with the A9 variant on it, which I'm pretty sure is the best I got. It sure is. Or the A6, I'm so sorry. But, and that would be... might have to go with just bigger motors, right? Like I do have... Might have to just go with a totally different design on this. Single ignitions. Okay, that's these. So what motor do I have? Dum, 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 dum. Those are little Aerobs. These are small ones. Okay, where is the... That's the one. So this one starts at 383 kilonewtons, but I'm sure these... What if I arrange these by mass? Can I do that? Yeah. And still keep them... Yeah. So I'm well down the list of heavier engines. I think I might just need... Okay, we're going to do this, but I think I might need to just build something that's just flat out bigger than this. I do have the Stentor, and I used that before instead of the Veronique. It did a nice job for me when I was in my previous series. Where is the... There's the Veronique. And the Stentor just has more... Might try something just a little different. Do I also have... What am I doing for SRBs? Because people to talk about, but I have yet to get these baby sergeants. I got the Aerojet. I do have the Nike. These are my medium solids. There's the Tiny Tim. So there's not great solid motors that I've unlocked yet. These are still like really small compared to, you know, the whole rocket, right? But might be something to stick in here somewhere. Okay, anyway, I'm going to do this right now. I don't want to play with things too much. And just see if changing that avionics core has made this a more flyable thing for McJeb, if it'll just fly better. So we're going to just do a quick save. It's just called Orbital Prototype right now. And we're going to simulate. Okay, let's not have this involved. Let's not have that involved. Let's simply... all these should be 155 by 155. And again, all the auto staging, keep the throttle up. All of that stuff. Okay, let's see what this does. So I'm just going to engage that, and I'm just going to hit go. So this actually has two avionics cores. I have a heavy avionics core down here to deal with this heavy stage down below, and then the upper one is just able to handle the few tons that's going to be the upper stage. Whether that actually works for me or not, I don't know. I could also not have all these things be so unguided. Instead of spinning up, I could put some RCS on here. Let's see. Let's see what this one does, though. One never knows. Coming through the clouds. A little bit of time warpy going. I should really take a good look at the contract, because the contract might just simply not be. You might have you have some payload. This is like got like a sewing needle now at the top. This is so... might need to be totally redesigned. So now it's pitching over hard once again. I'm going to assume it knows what it's doing. Again, it is going to spin up. But what I'm looking at is will at least keep going. There. And there. Okay, so that worked. But now what we got... Again, this is now unguided, right? So it's just going to do the same thing. It's going to push the Apo apps up really high. It's just McJeb is happy. Might try a different... I might try making this sort of guided a little bit. Yeah, because this is just going to do the same thing. It's going to push the Apo apps up really high. Peri apps is not going to be very high. So what I'm going to do... Let's revert back. Back to the editor we go. You know, if I can milk this Redstone booster into an orbit, I would be ecstatic. So what I'm thinking about is getting this off just for now, making this stage a guided stage. So that's going to involve putting in a little bit of some RCS blocks and a little bit of propellant for them. So the RCS blocks I'm looking at, ooh, I like the way these are been organized. This is the VAB organizer. That's just great. But what I really want are really light ones. So these get heavier as I go down. Except these guys, oh no, these are the light ones up here. Not 100% sure what the difference is in all of those. So what I just want, it does not have to provide ullage or anything. It simply has to, that two-way variant is perfect, just like that. Now let's just take a look at the other ones and see what their variants are like and see if I can just get them like that. That one's even more angled. What's this one like? Because that's all it's doing is just yaw and pitch control. Okay, that one's more, if I turn it that way. And then we got these guys. These are all the same mass. Correct. So it's just which one do I like? There. Okay, I'm gonna reject you. I'm gonna reject you. I'm gonna try this on like a four-way symmetry. And what I'm really looking at is... Did I lose some already? Oh no, I got them on top of each other. That's dumb. There. You see how these are thrusting in the same direction? Do you see that? So for this, that means you don't have wasted thrust. I'm just gonna hopefully this makes some sense. Actually, these would be fine too. It all depends on where I like to put them, doesn't it? I think I'm gonna get rid of these. I want these exactly, because this, if I'm not mistaken, is the top or dorsal side of the rocket. This is the ventral side, and then we got what here? Starboard and port. I want them to be kind of in. I want these thrusts to be in line with dorsal, ventral, starboard, port, so that, you know, only two of these are going at the same time. They're not fighting against each other. But I'm thinking that probably will work. What it needs, though, is it does need some propellant, doesn't it? Now, we do have an engine GUI. And I'm going to go with, I can't, people are telling me it's worth your time to go up to HTTP. I get the extra T in there and I don't know why. HTTP. So I'm going to go to HTTP. We'll do the purchase that upgrade. Again, that should not cost me anything. It doesn't. And we will select current config is HTTP. Okay, we'll go with the HTTP. And that means I need to put on a bitsy itsy witsy little witsy witsy fuel tank for it. Very itsy. So I'll just do this with the procedural tank. I've got balloon tanks and stuff coming too. But I'm going to put this... Whoop. I don't know why you flipped upside down like that. Put you here. 300 millimeters at the top. I'm going to go with a smooth cone. Or it's 370, I think, at the top, isn't it? I should have that number memorized by now. I've used that diameter so much. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, a cylinder might be a better choice. So I'm thinking I'll just stick it on the top of this like that. Doom, doom, doom. Okay, let's go just to a cylinder. Same thing, 370 in diameter. And I want to fill this for, not the Veronique, I want to fill this for these RCS blocks. If I stick them on there, will that fill that for the RCS blocks? Still says fill type. Okay, what if I go to the tank UI? Why do I not have the option? Oh, wait, do these need to be pressurized or anything goofy like that? They probably do. First of all, this is still steel. Let's go to 8 stringers. Aluminum stringers, I do not have the option to fill for, so do I need to make them pressurized? And now I have the option to, no, that says U2 3000. Oh no, now I got the HT, so the RCS blocks in there, so it obviously needs to be pressurized, doesn't it? Yes. Okay, so we will fill this for the blocks. Boom, there we go. HTP and helium. These can now go back to here. And this can be a lot lower in length. Or, hexors, why not put it on the very top? Yeah, why am I doing it on here? Make it guided all the way. Doesn't it make more sense to come to here? This comes off. This comes off. This goes here. This goes here. This goes here. This goes here. This can now be a lot shorter. I have no idea how much fuel I need. Maybe a little longer than that. I'm gonna give it a go. So now this thing is going to be a guided rocket all the way up. That's what I've done. It now has some form of attitude control. Whether that works or not, I don't know. Okay, so there's my RCS blocks. They need to come on at the same time the Veronique comes on. Other than that, I think we're good. Let's close these. Alright, let's punch it and see what happens. Now, I want to make sure I did not make the top stage too heavy. That the avionics can't handle it. It's 3 tons, so that means this needs to be put up. 3.5 tons? Apply and preserve dimensions, so that's gotten a little bigger up there. Okay. Pushed it over the 3-ton limit. Toggle that closed. One again, look at staging. That RCS, this all needs to be in the same stage. There. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. And these guys are their own thing. Alright, let's see what this does. Simulate. Alright, again, not going to use this. Simply going to engage this. Just make sure all the options are where I want them to be. I think I'm good. 155 by 155. Sure. Let's go. Alright, so now we have ourselves a guided upper stage. Let's see what this does for me. And if this doesn't do the trick, which I think I'm gonna need to do, I think I just need to build myself a bigger booster on the bottom. We'll see how this goes. But I'm just really curious just how close it can get. That's really the big thing I'm doing here, because I don't think it can make it. But I'm close to... I'd love it to be able to not push the apoapsis, to actually pitch down. That's my hope. That it'll pitch downwards. Keep that apoapsis from climbing too high. And then I can see kind of like what my orbital speed gets to, and then I can see how short am I. Oh, 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 oh. We are going? What happened? Insufficient avionics. Oh, shoot. Okay. Maybe I didn't make that top avionics big enough. Revert back to the editor. I think I know what I did. I think I hit preserve dimensions. I'm pretty darn sure when I hit this, I said apply and preserve dimensions, and it says that's as big as she gets. You gotta make it so through apply and resize to fit. Now it's 3.5, so it's still on 3 tons. That's why that happened. All right, put that back on. Close these. Probably all the staging's messed up again. Yeah. Rah. Okay. Try that one. Okay, not using that, engaging that. And I think I can just hit spacebar. Pretty sure none of these options should have changed. All right, let's try again. My needle of death here. My needle of death. So doing a little bit of time warping, and then I think I still had the time warp on when it did the spin up, so I'll try to remember to take that off. And then it's starting to pitch over hard. And we should be getting the spin up soon. Oh, wait, then I don't need the spin up. Why am I spinning it up? You dope? Sorry, I gotta revert this back. If this is guided, it doesn't need all this stupid gyro stabilizing stuff. And how the heck is it supposed to steer if it's spinning all over the place? So, no. Revert to editor. Revert to editor. Revert to editor. My gorsh, it does not need these. Go away. And it doesn't need... get those smart parts. Get them. It's in there somewhere. That's what happens every time I bury these things, is I have trouble finding them. There it is. Don't need... Is it just the one? I think so. That was triggering action group 2 when the ethanol got down to 2%. Do not need you. That is it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is again. This gets really low. I don't know. There we go. Oh, it's probably I'm adding length at the top. That's why. Okay, save that. Simulate. Close that. Engage that. Spacebar. Okay. All right, Death Needle. Let's keep going. So, yeah, I'm hoping, I don't know if I need to put on RCS at this stage. Maybe I do. I'm going to find out. I'm not sure if I have to put on RCS before. I think I do. I think I should put on RCS now. But the RCS is not active until it gets staged. I think is the way to do this. This time, no spinning up. It should just stage. But I do have RCS, and it is... Is it doing that, or is it out of control? It's out of control. So that is not enough. That is not enough. To control this rocket. Wonder if the RCS blocks are better towards the top. Because the center of mass is going to be down here someplace, isn't it? I think those RCS blocks are too close to the center of mass. Let's check this out. Revert back to the editor. It was trying. It was trying. Okay. Open this up again. Off you come. Where's the center of mass? That's like, of course, that's where the center of mass is. So my RCS blocks are very close to where the center of mass is. That's just really dumb. The dry center of mass you can get from here. It's up higher, but... So what I'm going to do... Put that center of mass back. Might need more than just those two. That's entirely possible. I might need bigger engine or RCS blocks. I do have heavier RCS blocks, so I can just switch them up, but I do want to kind of minimize this. So let's just try these like way up high. Now they do start to slant inwards. I'm not sure if that's a big deal or not. But if I put them up way high, so they're way far from the center of mass, that'll help. There's no reason not to go higher still. I mean, I know they tilt inwards, but that's not the direction I worry about. Alright, let's try that. Let's try that. And if this doesn't work, we'll have to go with heavier RCS blocks. I did pick the lightest ones, so that could easily be part of my issue. Okay, and... Oh, somehow the staging didn't get all messed up that time. Interesting. Okay. Simulate again. Engage autopilot, hit the space bar. Close that. Do have to put RCS on. I'll write at some point a simple KOS script that'll do simple things like turning the RCS on at the appropriate time. I mean, it can do it at any time. The RCS is not active until it stages, I'm assuming. So now the block's way up here at the top. Very far away from the center of mass. If this does not work, we're going to have to go with heavier blocks. I mean, I was thinking as well I could put a bunch down lower. I could put another group of 4 down on the Veronique that get lost. It's like shedding that weight might not be a bad idea when I lose the Veronique. That's another thing to try. Just another set of 4. Another set of 4 down here. And then those get shed when we're just on the Needle of Doom. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Alright, gonna be staging soon. Okay, Veronique time. And I think we have control. It seems to be holding a vector. So I'm happy with that. Now, one of the things is it is going to be pumping out. That's the Veronique. There is... It's the HTP. Okay, it's not using too much of the HTP, which is what's for the... Just little puffs. You can see it going little puffs there of HTP. So, okay. Okay, it's in control. It is in control. So that is good. We're letting that Veronique build up speed. Speed is good. Speed is happy. But what, as the apoapsis approaches the target of 155, what this thing should start doing is pitching below the horizon. That's what we should be starting to see. Okay, now we are on the U-2000. It is very much in control, which is great. I can take out a ton of the HTP. It does not need anywhere near that amount. You can see it's hardly using anything. It's only used up a liter of helium and 0.1 liters of the HTP. So we can take out like almost all of that. Shed even a little bit more weight. But right now... Wow, this is pretty exciting. I'm a little surprised it's pitching now just below the horizon. It might bring the apoapsis up, only to bring it back down again. As you can tell from the music, we are in space. Now, I don't think, as I've been saying all along, I do not believe this thing has the Delta V, but... Again, 7,818 for a 150 kilometer orbit. I can actually just very quickly get but this will give me an idea how much I'm short. I could look up as well the Delta V for getting into orbit in RP1, but I kind of want to play. Okay, we are at 6,241. I'm writing that number down. And we ran out of fuel. So if I put in a 155 kilometer orbit here on my spreadsheet that you can't see, I'm still seeing an orbital velocity of 7,815. And if I get out my calculator and subtract those two numbers, 7,815 minus 6,241. I'm seeing an additional 1,574 meters per second I need. On top of what I don't have. Now, obviously, I should probably air a little higher than that, but I mean, it's not terrible. Notice it's not getting anywhere near the downrange it did before because the altitude isn't nearly what it was. All right. At least it was in control the entire time. So now let's bring out our DV stats. And this thing has 7,311. So by my very, very rough calculations, plus 1574, I need 8,885 to achieve an orbit. I have no idea how, probably up a little more than that. Probably quite a bit more than that, but that's kind of into the ballpark I should be looking at. What's really fun, and now I'm going to see with all of that, let's cheat. So, cheat, this is not an operative word to cheat, but I do have, if I go into my, I do have my, come on, move out of the way. There we go. RP1, these are the crafts from my first series that I did, and I did achieve an orbit, and it was the Atlas Stentor something something. I think it might have been this guy. Yeah, I know there's missing parts and stuff. This, yes, was my first orbital rocket in my other game, and it has 9,356. Okay, so I'm in the ballpark. But anyway, I don't have the parts for this just yet. Let's go back to my current game and re-bring up that Redstone prototype. All right, so what I'm thinking. First of all, a lot less HTP. I can really bring this down. We used up like a tenth of a liter of HTP or something like that. So I probably like half a liter of HTP would be all I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down the length like so. That's 10 millimeters. That's as low as it's going to let me go. I'll keep it at that. I don't see a reason to go. Wow, you can't even see the tank. It's so tiny down there. So that's for guidance. And then what I think I'm going to do is use one of my bigger motors. And I'm just going to try. I'm going to keep this upper stage. Maybe what'll... Yeah. Open this up. Oh, not that, dummy. That. Keep this as my upper stage. And build a bigger lower stage. Alright, so let's take a look at motors here. So if I go down here to my ground ignition motors, which are down here, arrange these. Oh, they are arranged by mass. I would think more massive is better. So this has 1,000 kilonewtons. Oh, wait. The blue ones are being researched right now. Be very, very careful. Oh, I might not be in as good a shape as I was thinking. Shoot. Okay. The XLR41. This is what I'm using now. This is this. Stick it down here. With the A6 configuration. And that gets me 383. Well, let's look at the ASL thrust. 333 kilonewtons of thrust and a burn time of about 121 seconds. Now, can I do better is the question. So, looking at the other motors we have down here, and again, everything else, we have this guy. Sorry, I've already forgotten. 333, here, pin this. Pin this over here. This guy, 208. Okay, so let's start up. So we have the A4. Isn't that just what I got on the V2? With its 280, yeah. Oh, I might be. This is the RD. Yeah, this is on the V2, right? This is just my V2 motor, the A4. It sure is. So that's worse. This is the XLR41 with 333 kilonewtons of force. Okay, maybe this might be a better motor. The XLR41. Oh, it's less. Shoot. What kind of upgrades does it have? No upgrades. 70 seconds less thrust, so this is worse. Oh boy, it might be as good as I'm going to get. What are my engineers going to do then? The RD, this is worse? These are all just equivalents to the V2, really, aren't they? Like kind of in the same ballpark. Unless there's a crazy upgrade I can get to this. Ooh, this guy has 413 kilonewtons if I do this upgrade. And 130 seconds of burn time. So there's some potential there in the RD100. 443 with 140. It's an expensive upgrade, but this might be a motor to go for. Okay, you have potential there. The RD100. I think I know what I'm going to do then. If that's what I end up using. Okay, there's the RD100. The XLR, that was not a good candidate. Man, all these motors look the same. No. Throw away you. That's what I'm using. The LR43. Whoo, 435 kilonewtons ASL. What's the downside? Huge amount of thrust, 65 seconds of burn time. There's the downside. But there is an upgrade that I can't afford. No, I haven't unlocked. 265 burn time stinks. So, no, we're going to throw you away. That was you. Then this is no good at all. And then the RD200 is no good. He's tiny. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I got a whole new idea. So I like this RD100. So here's the plan. Here's the plan. Here's the plan. Let's bring back that Redstone booster. Don't save this. Why am I not understanding how the alphabet works? There it is. Orbital prototype. There we go. And we are going to swap out this motor. Let's take off our launch clamp. Swap out this motor for the RD100. Like so. We'll play around with this a little bit. Now, staging can't be right. Staging is right. Oh, we got to do an upgrade on this. That's right. Oh, well, the fuel's all wrong. Of course it is. Fuel's all wrong. So we're going to do... What is the upgrade that's going to give me the most bang for my buck? This one I've not unlocked yet. So be a little careful. I think I clicked on it and went, oh, but I haven't unlocked that yet. So I'm looking at combination of, I should probably look at reliability too at some point, but one thing at a time. So that's no good to me. This is 130 seconds of burn time, 248. That's worse. That's worse than what I got. Am I crazy? There's the kind of thing I'm looking for. 130. Why is this one so bad? It must be very reliable or something. Oh no, it's not bad. What was I looking at? I was looking just at the wrong numbers. Okay, 130 seconds, 413 kilonewtons of thrust. More thrust, also 130 seconds. Does it talk about mean time between failures or anything that? If I right click on it. Okay, there's ignition chances. I'm looking at mean time between failures. Okay. If I go to this one, I'm looking just at the ignition chance. 87% ignition chance. This guy, I'm getting too low on thrust. Not, oh, way low on burn time. Too low on burn time. So I'm thinking... this one gives me more thrust, more burn time. %82 ignition chance before any kind of flight times put into it. This one's more reliable. That's the big difference, it looks like, between these two. Well, let's go with the more reliable one for now, see what this does for me. Now, of course, I have to reconfigure the fuel in this tank. So go to the tank UI, remove all tanks, and fill this up for the FD60 RD100. Boom, and crank up the utilization. So now I have... not nearly the DV I thought I would get. Why is that? I would have thought I got plenty of thrust at the bottom end. This hardly seems... so this is the RD100 orbital prototype, I'm going to call it. This is an aluminum stringer tank. I'm assuming this does not need any kind of pressurized tank or anything like that. Staging is right. This feels barely better, doesn't it? A little better, but not much. Let's make the tank longer. Because I do have 130 seconds of burn time and a lot of so 130 seconds is 2 minutes and 10 seconds, right? And I can go more than that probably. We'll give it a test in a little bit, but I got a lot of launch TWR, so I think I can go longer. So let's go longer. Here's the length button. And I'm gonna go longer. 2 minutes and 10 seconds is the rated burn time, so I can at least go to that. But I can go further. Let's go until my... okay. Now I'm getting a launch TWR of 1.25. And I still don't think I have enough DV. I don't think I got the motors to do this. Might have to start playing with the top stage too. Shoot. Well, we'll play with this. See what this does for me. So simulate. or save this. This is the RD100. Well, let's not go with the reliable one then. Isn't there one that's even more thrust? This one. More expensive upgrade too. That gave me a knock on the DV. But I got more thrust. Obviously they use the same propellant, so that's good. Okay, let's make it longer. Okay, again, I got that 1.25 TWR. Let's, I'm up to 7,828 meters per second, which I don't think is enough. But let's see what this does for me. Let's simulate it. Save it. Simulate. I'm discouraged though. Okay, again, closing that. Engage that. I could go with more than one engine at the bottom. That's the other possibility. But actually, no, that doesn't do it for me. I don't need the thrust, and the burn time will be the same. No, that more engine doesn't do it. Yeah, let's just engage. Let's go. Oops. Nope, that's the wrong way around. That way. Let's see what this can do for me, but I'm gonna also, while that is flying, I am looking at trying to get inspiration from real world rockets. So the RD100 yeah, I'm just sort of reading up. Oh, it's a Russian copy of the V2 engine. So, oh my gosh. Okay. And that's what I got down here, right? Yeah, I do. Oh, I'm thinking I'm going to need better tech, but I'm also thinking, like, what on earth are my engineers going to be doing? I got to think about what I'm going to be doing. Okay. Now, maybe I do have the Stentor. Maybe that'll be an improvement over the Veronique that I can build more in this stage. Okay, staging. Do again a little time warping here. This thing, I do really like the way it's flying. I mean, that's at least a good thing. Okay, we're going to be staging again soon. Okay. Time warping. Well, how am I doing with HTP? I took so much of that out. Still using up hardly any of it. It's not a problem. I think I got up to 6,241 meters per second for my velocity before. I think I'm going to get higher than that. I definitely am, but not really high enough. Better, but still about 1,000 meters per second shy of orbital velocity. Okay, so what I think... If I take a look at my the second stage motor, right now there's the Veronique in there. I do have the Stentor. And the Stentor engine. And I even have an upgrade for it that I could purchase. Oh no, I gotta purchase the engine. There isn't an upgrade. 60 seconds of burn time compared to... Ah, shoot. Open this up. Compared to the 49 seconds available to the Veronique. And higher thrust. So I could... go to that. I do have also... I don't want to increase the mass on this top end too much. That's the U1250 we got. This is the S. What is this one? The S2250. 95 seconds of the rated burn time. Quite a bit extra mass though. None of these I'm taking it are gimbaled. I couldn't imagine, no. Maybe that might be a good choice. Might be a better choice than the Stentor. What was the Stentor's rated burn time again? 60 seconds. This one's 95 seconds. We have the ORM65. Very little thrust though down here, so no. That's more on the... Okay, let's see if we can do something with this Veronique stage. So, I'm going to throw the Stentor away. Put this on. Take out the old Veronique. Tuck that up there. Something like that. So this has got a lot more thrust. It is heavier, but it does have more burn time. We have to remove the tanks and fill this now for this thing. Do I have an upgrade available for it? I do. No, I don't. I do not have an upgrade for it. But I do have 95 seconds of burn time. So what I can do is increase the length of this. To get it well over a minute. But that's a minute and a half of burn. That's like huge. But that's a massive amount of rocket, and I've increased the mass of this thing monstrously. So this has to go up to like 6.5 tons. I don't know if my booster can lift all this though. Okay, checking staging again. Staging seems actually okay. Now I have a TWR at launch of only 1.15, so let's bring this down just a little bit. And still the Delta V is not great. I don't think it's much better than what it was before. I need to bring the length down. That's what I was doing. Kind of lost track of where I was at. So that gives me a launch TWR of 1.2, but I have 7,732 meters per second. Still fair amount shy. I think I'm gonna have to give this up. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do here. This is the RD100. What was the motor in there? I've forgotten. It was this guy, the S2. I'll just write S2 just to give it a different name. Orbital prototype. So I have this one with its 7,732 meters per second of delta V. Oh, does this need pressurized tanks or anything dopey like that? I can't even remember. I didn't even look. Can't say I don't remember when I didn't even look. It does not need a pressurized tank. Is this a pressurized tank? It is. So I can actually change the tank type to just regular aluminum stringer, because that'll give me a little bit more. Why doesn't it not see the motor? The S2. Just says fill for the RD. Oh, maybe it does have to be pressurized. Okay, I guess it does. Shoot. Okay, so that was a mistake. All right, so this is, boom, there we go. Okay, this is with the S2 motor in there, and it has 7,732 meters per second of delta V. I do have also the RD, this one. This one's my best option thus far, with 8,200 meters. And I don't think SRBs are going to do it for me. Like maybe when we get into, probably my best SRB is just this Nike one. But it really doesn't have a whole lot of trying to hope to see. There it is. Oh, it only burns for 3.5 seconds. And yeah, 713 meters per second of delta V. I was just playing with the idea of maybe, well, the Veronique doesn't add too much. It's only like if I took this here, just hang on, just still playing. Open this up. Remove you. Remove you. Stick in a Nike. Add that back. Fix the staging. Where's my Nike? There's the Nike. It's got to go here. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, 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 yes. That's all right. But now I can increase this length a little bit. I've reduced the mass, so that means I can increase the length here a little bit. Up here, get a little bit more out of this, but I'm still, nah, this is way worse. Don't save it. All right, I just don't think I have the tech. That was a lot of playing around. That was a lot of playing around just to discover that I do not have the tech to get this done. So if I go into contracts, I'm just trying to figure out what else I'm going to do. Because the next ones are first the artificial satellites. Like I have to get into orbit. There's really not much I can do with that with that rocket, which means I got, if I take a look at my staff, I got a bazillion engineers with nothing to do. Now, I can throw them all into the hangar, but seriously, I don't really think that accomplishes too much. There's nothing for this redstone complex to do, and that's really annoying. So I got 160 engineers all in the hangar. Shoot. What I need... Well, I got satellite era materials science coming up in 77 days, but what I really need actually is the orbital rocketry to get the better motors. I'm actually going to take research. I think I should... Oh, I can't put them in the other order. One depends on the other. Shoot. Okay. Okay. Well, I suppose I could hire more researchers. Try and speed this up as much as I can. I still have a very, very healthy budget. So I'll go to researchers here and hire 10 more researchers. Oh gosh, for 3,000? No, I should wait until I have more money. Okay. I guess we'll be flying some X-planes for a while. And, or maybe I should really use, while I got all those engineers there, maybe I should be thinking about some jets. Maybe that's really where I should be thinking. If I go to X-plane research, I can go to satellite light and at least grab that contract. But I got Mach 2 supersonic coming up to achieve. This is with a jet plane. Let's see what we can do. And I'm going to try. I spent a lot of time with the building. And I know when it comes to planes, it takes even longer to build. That was a lot of time. So to try, in the interest of saving time, I do have... Gosh, I should be able to... These are all X... What was the plane that I have? Oh, yeah. Okay, I have the 104 Starfighter and the 104 Starfighter A. Let me show you that. So here's the question. This is what I was using to break various altitude and speed records, and I might just reuse it. Now the question is, do I have the tech for this? So right now this is the J57 turbojet engine. Let's take a look at the engines. I should have this. Let's open the engine here. Yeah, I can purchase it. With the P8 upgrade configuration. I could even go to a higher one. Like that. I have these tanks, which are just aluminum fuselages, so that should be fine. We have this, an aluminum fuselage, and again, that's just a fuselage piece. I think all the fuel is in the wings. Where are the fuel in this thing? Oh, kerosene. It's all here. Okay. So the fuel is actually these side tanks here. We have the air intakes. I probably have to unlock. These are the XF104 air intakes. They'd be under here. I must have them unlocked. These guys. They cost 400 to unlock. That should be fine. That cockpit I definitely have. The P40 cockpit. Right here. Nope. That one. That cost me next to nothing to unlock. So I think in the interest of saving time, I might just fly this. Let's see how this flies. So if I go... Let's simulate this. Okay, so obviously don't need any of this McJeb stuff. I think this thing is pretty... Do that, and let's just punch it. Go. Remember, it does take a long time, but then there we go. There we go. And I'm now pitched up hard, and come on, up, up, up. There we go. This is not an easy thing to fly. There is no doubt about it. It is really going. Okay, let's see if we can... let's get up to, say, a 15 kilometer altitude. I don't know what the limit is on that thing. Pitch rate, vertical climb, heading of 90 degrees sounds good. Okay, let's add that on. Why is it not pitching up? It is in control, right? And I know I've had people tell me that they like me fuddling around, so I could... I think I know what I'm going to do. Because people have told me they don't want me to just pull vessels like this out. But what I might just do is actually maybe try and replicate this. And get it going in the spaceplane hangar. Because I'm just thinking, like, I got all those engineers. They could start building on this thing. The thing is do they build while the mounting's going on and all that? I don't even know how all that works. Why does this feel like it's not doing anything? There it goes. Now it's pitching up. It wasn't pitching up before. I don't know why. Very strange. Okay, now it's behaving. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to apologize for this. So this works. I think I got the tech to build it. Revert to the editor. But what I think I'm going to do is build something more from scratch, using this kind of as an inspiration so you can see me go through the build process. I've had people just tell me they want me to do that, and so I'm going to do that. But I'm looking at where we are at the time right now. I'm not going to do that right today. I'm going to save that for next episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of here, and we're going to do the X1 training. Now what I should also do, I don't know what my pilot is. I'm going to have to do some of that training for the P40 cockpit too. But you know what? Let's put that on hold. So anyway, let's finish off the training for the X1. Let's recondition the launch pad for the final time for that for at least a little while. Let's get the Bell X3 mounted. Okay, and we're going to do an air launch. And this is going to be 400. Yeah, all those numbers are good. We're going to put in George. And this one's going to be for science. Okay, so Shift P and P. Shift P and P. There we go. Air launching and get that engine going. Engage. Okay, we are pitching up. Alright, and I did right here what I need to do. So, opening that up, we need to get to an altitude of 25 kilometers. And we need a max speed of 625, and I am going to put on the speed control. We'll climb at an angle of, well, this is too steep, 15 degrees. And let's engage that. Okay, this can close. And this one is just for science. So it's going to level off and get up to its minimum altitude. Or, sorry, it's get up to this speed limit. But this is for the Mach 2 science. It needs to get up over 620 meters per second. And then it'll start collecting the science. And what we'll do as well is we'll set this as a waypoint. Might as well aim for that. Good, good. Alright. Here we go. So getting up to speed, and then it would start pitching up. Not sure if that's the better way, if I should have gotten to altitude first. I could take the speed control. Let's take speed control off. There, let's get it up to altitude. Because I think it takes less throttle. Definitely takes less throttle when you're up in the thinner air. So I don't want it to get over 625, but what I'll do is I'll wait to engage the speed control. Contracts, I did end up picking up that high plane. Now I don't know what I want to do with that. Well, we're not going for any contracts today. Okay, where's our speed's not going up very, but we're going to be leveling off pretty soon. Lovely clouds down below us. And it should be said, this is high. Like, this is more than twice as high as a modern commercial airliner would cruise at. So we are up there. Okay, putting on the speed control. Still not going fast enough for the Mach 2 flight, and we're getting close to the halfway point for our propellant and fuels. So we'll see how much science this can collect for us. I think it's 620. There it goes. Okay, so now we're collecting science. And this should just kind of cruise along like this. See, it's using just a tiny portion of the throttle. I like again, that it turns off two of the engines and it's sort of just fluttering this one to keep it at that speed. But it seems to be okay. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time warping. But we should be able to cruise along here pretty good. I don't know. I'm deciding whether that fluttering annoys me or not. I'm not really sure if it does. I could increase the throttle a little bit so that this engine just kind of stays on and doesn't flutter like that. I gotta keep it below... what was it? Gotta keep it below 820. I don't know. I'll put up with it. But we are just sipping through the fuel now. This is actually doing pretty good. We're collecting all kinds of... 1.7 science thus far. I can't complain about that. We approach our runway here, going at 3 times speed. Not sure how much this can go for. It's going to take still another 18 minutes to collect the rest of it, so it is going to take a few flights. Go up to 4 times speed. Fuel is getting low. Oh, took the time warp off because it gave me a warning here. How much of this is we've collected? 3.4 science. It's going to take a few flights definitely to get all of this Mach 2 science, but worth it. We are approaching our runway. I can start time warping again until this is out. I think we're going to cruise past and turn around again. Looking at this, definitely going well over. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, set the altitude for, let's say, 10 kilometers. Maybe less than that, but we'll get it at least going. We'll start slowing down, deploying some flaps. Dropping at 15 degrees is good. Set the heading to 272-ish. 270 is probably better. And we'll slow down. Let's put this at 5 kilometers. Let's actually decrease this. Last time I flew this plane, we overshot the runway. I don't want to repeat that performance. All right, so what do we get? What do we get? What do we get? 5 science. We still have to bring it back. We take a look here. That would bring this up to 6.4. There's still 9 to collect, so definitely 2 more flights of this would do it. Okay, I'm actually going to decrease flaps here a little bit. I don't want to lose too much speed. Speed control can come off. And what we're looking at is our flight path to the right. I got to come down a little bit quicker because I'm losing speed and I don't want to keep losing speed. So our angle to the runway is now 66 degrees. We got to get further along than this, that's for sure. Again, we'll check the G-force limiter. Good. Set to 5 Gs. Do a little time warping again. Okay, 20 degrees to the runway. Okay, let's take the time warp off. And I'm looking at our altitude, 20. Yeah, let's do the turnaround. So we're going to put it onto the waypoint. Get you to turn around. And we'll set our altitude now to 300 meters. And now we're heading to the runway. And this time I am going to put a little bit of flaps because now I do want to slow down just a little. Actually, more than a little. is back on. Maybe more flaps. And we'll see if the fact that I did not replace the parachute make a difference. There should be spare chutes and stuff. Still working out the details on how the frickin' chutes work. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm going to take the waypoint away. Should have quick saved, but I did not. I'm on full. I don't know, still going pretty fast. 190 meters per second. Taking time warp off, it'll level off soon. There it goes. Going to standard fly-by-wire. Oh no, I think I'm okay. Apply those landing gear. We're at 150 meters per second on the speed. Arm that parachute. And 30 meters per second on the speed. Still full flaps. Parachutes deploying. Full deploy on the parachute and down. Brakes on. Piece o' cake. Piece o' cake, right, George? Absolutely. Okay, and with that done and with the science collected, I think I am going to be bringing this episode to a close. Join me, yeah, next one will... I think will have to be getting into some jet building, I think, for the next one. So that's going to be the big thing there. Get that technology to build some orbital rockets. But that's all going to have to be for a future episode. In the meantime, I want to thank you for watching and hope to see you again for the next one.